Alright, this has been long overdue. It's time to do the review of mobile PUBG. So a while back, I wanted PUBG so badly. It looked amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a Battle Royale game before, but looked amazing. Unless if like Hunger Games, like if Hunger Games was made into a game, aka The Calling, if that would be an actual Battle Royale game. Otherwise, I haven't seen a gun Battle Royale game, is what I should say. Um, so, and I wanted it so bad. So I remember I was playing a game, and I remember seeing this ad. I'm like, wait a second, and then I was like, it's PUBG. It's mobile PUBG. Okay, don't do that. I want to try to stop doing cringy stuff, but it's just in my nature. Um. So, anyways, yeah. So I remember seeing it. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. It was called Rules of Survival, and it for a mobile game it looked pretty good. Well, its graphics, I'll get into that later. It's of course, it's not as good as Lineage 2, Lineage 2, Lineage 2. That's literally appearing like everywhere and never stopping. I mean, if you haven't been on YouTube lately, then you probably haven't seen it. But for the rest of us, it was annoying hearing Lineage 2, Lineage 2, Lineage 2. It looks so beautiful. Best mobile game ever, yeah. But it holds 120 people in solo round Rules of Survival. Now, before I go into some pros and cons of Rules of Survival, I might as well bring up the other two games. Survival Royale. I remember I was looking up Rules of Survival reviews. I think I found like a bad one that said the controls are crap, which honestly I don't believe. But we'll also get into that one later. So I remember looking in the comments, and there's this game that kept popping up. It's called Survival Royale. Now, Survival Royale is another mobile PUBG, and people were saying they liked that better. So I'm like, oh, let me look that up. I was actually thinking, maybe there's a better one than Rules of Survival, because Rules of Survival was freaking fun. And I remember that, and I was like, okay. So I decided to download it, and then I forget how I found the third one, but it's Knives Out. It's called Knives Out. And yeah, so basically that's the three. Now, let's just address this right at the beginning. No, not Rules of Survival. Survival Royale and Knives Out are like really close to each other. Really close to each other. And like there's barely ever any difference between them. But I will be talking about the differences there are between them. Now, also, I'm gonna I want to tell you this story. I remember I was going into Knives Out not knowing what to expect. I played a solo round. I was starting a solo round. And I remember I went to this house with another guy, and then he just started wanting to fist fight me. And so what I did, I grabbed a brick and just beat it out of him, and I got first blood of the entire game on my first playthrough of that. Yeah. It's kind of funny to think about just beating someone with a brick on your first try and killing the first person. So, And now that being said, let's go into the review. Let's start with controls. Let's talk about the controls of the games. Now we're gonna split this up into two categories. We're gonna split it up into gameplay controls. Well, no, not gameplay controls. Movement controls and shooting controls and all that stuff. And we are going to do vehicle controls. Now, let's talk about movement controls. Now, so movement and so, well, I'd like to also say this. I don't have any footage of the game, so sorry, but I don't have footage. It's just me talking. But that's because I don't have game capture. But whatever. So for rules of survival, I see the controls are pretty good. I know one of my friends recently said they were crap because he kept like shooting by accident. Dang it. I just had to go. I noticed I was going like this a lot though. I'll try to stop doing it, but I may not be. What am I doing? Anyways, so yeah, I think rules of survival's controls are pretty good. Now, I think Survival Royale's controls are good. But the main difference between the two is that I just did it again, didn't I? Yeah, but I think okay, I gotta stop. I think I think Survival Royale's I think Survival Royale's controls feel a little bit sloppier compared to Rules of Survival, at least movement controls. Now, so I gotta give the movement controls to Rules of Survival. Next, vehicle controls. Now, both of these games have problems with their like movement controls. I mean vehicle controls. Now, Rules of Survival. It's it goes fast, which is a good thing. It feels like you're going fast, at least with most of the vehicles. But it's hard to turn. And Survival Royale has the opposite problem. It's easier to turn, but it doesn't go fast. Now, which do I approve? Think it's better? I'm gonna have to go with Rules of Survival. It just doesn't feel good to drive in that other game. I mean, I don't like driving a lot, but when I do, at least it feels like I'm actually going somewhere. You don't feel like you're going anywhere in Survival Royale, but that might just be my personal preference. If you care about more how, like, the vehicle, like, turns, like, sensitivities type of thing, then go with Survival Royale. And if you're wondering why I'm not saying Knives Out, it's because they're Survival Royale and Knives Out are basically the same thing. Now, I will go over differences later in the video. Next is the graphics. Now, these games have decent graphics, probably, like, for a mobile game, they're actually pretty good. In fact, I think at least one of them is better than the Xbox One version of PUBG, because it was lagging like crap when my friend was playing it. But, I mean, it could just be a problem with this Wi-Fi. which it probably is. So I'm sorry to all your diehard PUBG fans, cause I'm a fan too of the scene. That's why I have mobile PUBG. It's cheap. It's like free, and you don't need to pay like $30. Just saying. Anyways, so the graphics. So Survival Royale's graphics are obviously a lot more realistic, or at least models of the characters do. But I don't know, it just doesn't have that like vibrant feel. And now Rules of Survival, it's more of cartoonish. And while I probably could have, probably would like to go with more realistic style in the game, I think it works better. Now, of course, like PUBG Online has the best graphics and it's more realistic, but I feel like Survival Royale just doesn't do it for me as much as Rules of Survival. Now, I think we gotta stop giving Rules of Survival so much. Even though it's the first game that I got, doesn't mean it's better at all. So let's go into a major problem of Rules of Survival, which is not so much anymore, but used to be a big problem. Rules, I'm just gonna go out straight and say it. Rules of Survival, at least back, like, during the beta, when it barely released, it was buggy. It was just plain old buggy. Like, they still have, let me tell you about a very specific glitch. So there's this glitch where if you get in a car or any vehicle, I believe, it can just sometimes drop you through the floor. I think that it still has that. I don't think it occurs as frequently, but it still does happen. Now, I believe if you get out of the car at that point, you die. I think you stay alive if you stay in it, but otherwise you die. At least you're not floating forever. At least they thought, hey, if we have a glitch, we'll just make a kill plane. I mean, they could have known about the glitch and just released it early. Which, okay. But it still was pretty buggy. Now the glitches have still been fixed, but I still think it still has more glitches than Survival Royale. And also, sorry. Yeah, I told you, I said in my last video, I have a cold, so my throat's not as clear. But Rules of Survival, I'd like to say, just recently released on PC, so if you want that, you can probably go check it out. I think it's free, because the mobile version is free, and I don't see the point of, like, making it, making it, be, like, making it $5 or something like that, which is still pretty cheap, but it's still, like, what's the point if there's a mobile version that's free? But anyways, I think we gotta get to the main differences. The differences between Knives Out and Survival Royale. Now, these are the two things I noticed. One thing that I think, like how with Overwatch, they have like a PTR in their live. I think Knives Out might be like the PTR, and the Survival Royale might be the live. That's at least what I think, but I'm not sure. That's at least what it seems like, because they're pretty much the same exact thing. So that's what I think, but I don't know. But alright, so here's the main difference. Knives Out has a fourth mode. There's solo, there's duo, there's squad. Now there's a quintuple and Knives Out. Now, it, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think this is a change for the good. 5 is kind of an awkward number for this type of game. But yeah, so like I can understand like squad because like that's how many people you usually have like in a squad. 4 people. Like, isn't there? Isn't like Rainbow Vegas 6 or I butchered the name, didn't I? Isn't it like Rainbow Siege 6? Whatever it is, doesn't that usually have like 4 people and like one of them's a hacker and if you fail and all that stuff you die? Yeah. And there's like 4 people. Yeah. So I don't know, but I went off topic, but um yeah. So obviously I don't think this is a change for the good. Yeah, 5's kind of an awkward number. I mean, I see why they did it, but it doesn't really work. Especially like, I think cars only like support 4 people, so I don't know. It's just a weird number to deal with. This is the second main difference that I found. Uh, there's probably more, but I don't know. And this is the death replay. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's really cool, and I would agree with that, but unfortunately, it's not fully fleshed out. Lame. You don't even, like, see the bullet. You just, like, so at first it, like, shows you the guy, well, yourself, and then it switches over to the guy's perspective, except it's still in third person. It doesn't even, like, show them their point of view. And then it just bang, and then it doesn't even like show you any of the bullets. At least I can't see any. And then it just shows me, and then it shows you like dying. Now, I think once this gets fully fleshed out, like you can actually like see through their point of view, like see what happened. That would be really cool. I'd love to see that. Maybe only in solo though, because duo and squad, you could probably take advantage of that. Because, like, you can tell people, like, oh, hey, they're up the hill. They shot me from the hill. But otherwise, like, I think it's a fine idea for solo. But duo and squad and quintuple, no. Definitely not. So, yeah, I think Survival Royale is better. I mean, like, it's kind of like how, I'm going to go back to Overwatch and the PTR again. Like, the PTR may have more content, but, like, everyone's on live, right? So, yeah. Like, I don't. So, I just want to talk about a few more things. One thing is that Rules of Survival, another thing that does poorly at, is even in duo and squad, there's only 60 people. It used to be 48 even. Now, I think this is really stupid. And I remember, like, I commented on video and the guy said it was stupid too. So, it's stupid. Like, they have, like, 60 people on these, like, huge maps. Like, why? Just use like 120 or 100 or something other than like 60. It's kind of dumb. And yeah, that was the one thing I had. Another thing, and this is the last thing before I make my final conclusion, is the map layout, which is important for a game like this because it never switches maps. It's just the same thing. So it needs to have a good map. Now, I'm going to compliment Rules of Survival again. Oh boy, here he goes again. But Rules of Survival, at least like they have like singular houses and they're like spread out more. Survival Royale, there's like clumps of houses everywhere. Like Rules of Survival does that also, but they also have like singular houses. They have like random shacks, and Survival Royale. They have little of those, but they don't even feel like buildings. So, I think the map layout, I'd say Rules of Survival is better. So, final conclusion. What would I say? What game to get? Now, if you have a well-running phone, and you don't mind if a game has little bugs here and there. It's a fairly new game too. I think it was just made in like November, so it's not gonna be perfect yet. Um, I'd say get Rules of Survival, but if you want like a more realistic, less buggier experience, and maybe if you like fighting more, because the clumps of houses usually, like, there are only certain spots you could go towards. I'd say get Survival Royale. Now, Knives Out. Knives Out, yeah, so it's kind of like the PTR of Survival Royale. Okay, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing that it's the same as, like, uh, the PTR Survival Royale. That's what I assume, though. Knives Out, what I do with that game is I usually, like, when I know I probably have to go soon, but I want to play so badly, I go to that game because I don't really want to, like, leave. I don't really like leaving games that much because, you could, like, I just don't. Especially if I'm on, like, duo or squad, because then you're, like, screwing your team. I usually play solo on Knives Out, and then when I have to go, I can just quit, because I don't really care that badly. But I suggest, though, you get, like, maybe one of those. I'm going to keep all three, though, because, I don't know, I kind of like solo on Survival Royale, but I like duo and squad on Rules of Survival. I don't know yet, honestly, but I mean, I'd still recommend Rules of Survival even if you're a solo player, especially since it's more of a challenge with 120 people with solo. That's not for duo and squad, but yeah, so I'd say Rules of Survival, and that's probably the game we're gonna play most um, on any of our channels, and we might even do a Roasted Marshmallows video on it, like a huge collab, like with all four of us in the squad together. I think that would be like really fun, but yeah, so yeah, so. And I'd also like to say, we tried Survival Royale and Knives Out to record a video. God dang it. Sorry about that. But the audio wasn't working for us, so we couldn't do anything about it. Because Rules of Survival, like at the beginning, it used to not let me in sometimes, and even when the light was like green, which means it's should be running smooth, it literally says like smooth or something, but it wasn't letting me in for a while, so yeah, it's dumb. But I'd say that Rules of Survival is one of the best games on the phone, and Survival Royale, Knives Out are not bad too, not bad at all, and I don't want you guys to think that I'm crapping on it. Sure, I feel like it's not as good as Rules of Survival, but it's still probably one of the best games on the phone. But Rules of Survival is up there with Lineage 2. Lineage 2, best graphics! Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. Done with my, the 3 videos. Wasted a lot of time for me. And, I'll see you guys, probably on the next update video. And the playlist should hopefully, update soon for competition 2. See ya.